Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, back with another quick tutorial on things you can use your gelatos for. My last video I showed you how to do kind of the watercolor background. I had this one where I went right to the watercolor paper with the gelato and ran over it and just made my card. This was one that we watercolored. I colored it onto my mat here, added water, and then colored it on here. And honestly, after this dried, I like it way better than this one. So definitely going to do this one again for a card front. The next thing I want to show you is how to use them with embossing paste. And this is a tutorial I saw online from, oh, I wish I could remember who it was from. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But anyway, I wanted to show you how to do this. Now, there's a whole bunch of different types of embossing paste. There's one by Wendy, is it Vecchi or Vici? She has an embossing paste, but I just picked up because I didn't want to, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not. I bought the light modeling paste that you can get at Michael's with a coupon. So, but I'll link to, if I can find this online, I'll link to this, and I'll also link to the Wendy Vici one, which I'm going to definitely order and try it out just to maybe compare between the two. So let's go ahead and get started with our doing our embossing paste. So what I need to do is I have this gelato. This is called Mango, and I am going to take just one of these artist knives, and I'm just going to break off a chunk. You don't need a lot, just a very little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and add our modeling paste to this, and I keep transferring colors in here. So soon I'm going to have to go ahead and clean that out so I don't keep transferring all these colors. So what I'm going to do is now just start blending my gelato in with my embossing paste. If it doesn't get dark enough, I just can always add more. So I'm kind of smushing in the gelato. You can see there's chunks of it, so I am just smushing it right into my craft mat here and then blending it in with the, and I'm really liking this color so far. I kind of like the pale look. So I'm just going to go ahead and cutting that in there. Now you definitely want to make sure you clean up your tools right away because this stuff does dry pretty fast, and you don't want to have your tools ruined. I just bought inexpensive because, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this, but it turns out I love it. So I'm definitely going to get that other embossing paste and give it a try. So you can leave parts of the little chunks in here if you don't want the little chunks of the gelato in there. You definitely want to keep going. I am pretty much got most of them done. So I am going to go ahead and clean this up and then get a piece of cardstock, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I went ahead and cut down a piece of cardstock. I'm just using some paper tray ink cardstock because it's a pretty heavy, thick cardstock. I did use Stampin' Up's Whisper White on one of my samples, and I'll show you that in a minute. And it did work, but it was just a little too thin. It kind of curled up a little bit. So for this one, I decided I would give it a try with the thicker cardstock, and I am just going to go ahead. I'm using a mask from Tim Holtz. It's this burlap by Stampers Anonymous, and it comes with 2 pieces in it. And I am just going to go ahead and stick that down. I'm just using some of the 3M tape and covering most of my card, and especially the areas that I don't want to get onto my cardstock. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my gelato mix here. This is my tinted embossing powder, embossing paste, and I'm just going to go ahead and start mixing it in. I'm just using the flat side of my little palette knife here and flicking it right onto the embossing mask here so that it can seep down into those sections. So you can see some of that darker parts kind of got in there, and I like that look. It's not always going to be perfect. Alright, so I have a lot left there, so I'll probably go ahead and do another card front. I'm just going to pull this up just so you can kind of see what it looks like. I'll go and clean that in a second, and we'll get this out of the way. And this is what will be our card front. Alright, so there we go. It came out really nice. I really like how it's showing up onto the white cardstock. And I did go ahead and use my heat tool to help dry it along a little faster because I was not being patient. And now I thought I would just go ahead and put it into a card front. I did cut it down a little bit so that I can mount it onto a piece of black cardstock. And I am going to stamp a sentiment that's from this Simon Says stamp set that I've had in my stash for a while. It's called Beautiful Words. And I thought I would go ahead and stamp that out using some archival ink. I really like the jet black ink because it stamps out nice and crisp. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up. I'm using the So Very Grateful for You sentiment. I'm going to stamp that right across the bottom. Alright, so I went ahead and heat set my So Very Grateful for You because I didn't want to smear my ink. And I'm just going to go ahead now and mount this onto a piece of black cardstock. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and mount this onto a card base, which is an A2 size card. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just going to go ahead and mount that right onto the front of my card. So that's the card I made using the Gelatos and the embossing paste. I'll link below to, like I said, if I could find this one online, I'll link below to this one. It does work great. I like it. And then I'll also link below to the other embossing paste, the Wendy Vici. This is the one that I did with the mango. And here's one I did with the guava color, which is what I used to do the watercoloring look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see more tutorials like this, do a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch everybody in the next video. Thanks for watching.